guys, what's up? It's Joe Raiti from Raiti's Rides. We're at the 2022 Chicago Auto Show, and of course, you're seeing more electrified vehicles than ever before, and at BMW, that definitely is the proof because of what they have on display. What we have is this all-new 2022 BMW i4 M50. But before we get into this electrified sedan from BMW, let's talk about what's going on here. So remember, this German brand that started so many decades ago, really putting work into airplanes and airplane engines, has changed over the years to now where they are an auto manufacturer and a motorcycle manufacturer that brings a lot of credibility when it comes to engineering, design, and definitely luxury. Now, with the shift towards electrification, some brands are taking the big leap and just changing their whole lineup all in one shot. BMW is doing a little bit more of a different balancing act. They're going to still keep bringing their internal combustion engines, but they are also, of course, doing work with electrification. Now, with this M50 Gran Coupe, you're going to get that four-door usability. We brought to you here on Raiti's Rides the internal combustion engine version of this vehicle, and it's great to finally see its electrified brother here at the show. But what I want to find out is this vehicle worth the price when you go the electrification route? And especially with an M badging, an M50 badge on this vehicle, and compare it to the Tesla, obviously the Tesla Model 3 and the Polestar, especially since we have the M50 version here. So let's go ahead, let's find out what this iX M50 is all about, i4 M50 is all about, and how it stacks up to the competition. Let's dive in and check it out. So right off the bat, the proportions. When you look at it, like I was saying, you see that Gran Coupe shape really is the perfect environment to bring this type of electrified sedan to market. Now, at the front of the business, you're gonna get that great BMW history with their lighting. Remember the halo lighting over the years, this is that laser light technology that they've developed with their engineering and race programs. Really think that it's kind of accentuating what's happening here at the front of the business. Now, as you work your way down, you are going to get functional air curtains. And remember, the key to the air curtains is to help channel the air. We want to, of course, have the proper battery strength and obviously the balance of the power from the electric motors to increase that range. But another way to do the range is by creating aerodynamic aids like air curtains to help channel the air around the vehicle. You do have some horizontal slots here to help bring that air to the corner. And just like your other BMWs, you're getting that familiar styling, how they bring down the front fascia there. Now, as we come across that low slung hood, this is where you see that connection to the other vehicles in their lineup. You are going to get that new style of the kidney shaped grille design, elongated, but I really think the way that they did it makes perfect sense because you're going to have the smoother sections up front and then the open sections on the bottom for that air to flow. We have our first M badge on an electrified sedan from BMW. And then, of course, with the blue around that BMW badging, that signifies that this is an electrified vehicle. And of course, you're going to get a forward-facing camera. Now, when you get up onto the hood, just like your standard Gran Coupe, nice long hood, beautiful body lines, clean style. That's something I've always liked about BMW, is the clean style and, of course, the attention to detail. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with wheel and tire setup? Now, the great news is we are now in a day and age where electrified vehicles don't have to look like science experiments. They could actually look more like a conventional car. And that's what you're going to get with these wheels and tires. So you're getting a 19-inch wheel, gloss black, machined aluminum, nice large bright red M-branded calipers there. And then, of course, with the balance of the green on our particular vehicle, the style really says a lot about what's going on here. 245 on the width, 40 series on the sidewall, and really just nice to see that familiarity with what you're going to get from their other vehicles. Now, as we come down the side, look at the way they did the side venting, really nice, a little bit of gloss black, nothing too crazy, and then they took that line and made it flow all the way back almost towards the rear wheel. You're going to get that flat black on the side sill that extends down because, like I was saying, it's all about aerodynamic efficiency to help with the overall range, even flush mounted door handles. Something as simple as a door handle that sticks out can create drag. We don't want that. Gloss black on your mirror caps, and I think one of my favorite styling cues on BMWs of any type in the modern era has to be these side mirrors. Look at the way they extend the left side of this passenger door mirror here right towards the A-pillar. It almost acts as a wing on each side of the vehicle. You're gonna get a standard size sunroof, which is nice, gloss black around the top and the bottom, and then coming towards the rear, 255. So we got 255 with 40 series on the sidewall, nice setup with the Michelin tires on this M50. And then of course, as we come around back, that signature LED lighting looking really great, nice illumination, M50 badge. Like I said, seeing this badge on the i4 is something new, something fresh. Our BMW badge, and then just the balance of the shape. And then of course with the Gran Coupe, the way that this lift back is gonna open up, give you tons of room. And look at how they did the lower rear diffuser. That's what I wanna see, something that looks like it's off a BMW race car, very aggressive, as it should be on anything that has an M badge. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk about power in this electrified BMW. All right guys, we got the hood open. Now unfortunately, there's not a lot to see. They did put an M badge here, which is nice, but as we kind of zoom in and actually show what's going on here, let's talk about what is powering this i4 M50. So what you're looking at is you're getting twin motors. So just like the Model 3 Performance, Twin Motor Performance Edition, you're gonna have a motor out front, motor out back, 536 horsepower, 586 pound-feet of torque. You do have an 8.7 kilowatt per hour battery pack, 245 estimated range. Now, if you want a little bit more range, mileage-wise, you could go with the eDrive 40 i4, and that's gonna have one electric motor, which is rear-wheel mounted, and that is gonna be 335 horsepower. Now, 0 to 60 in M50, you're looking at 3.6 seconds, top speed around 142 miles per hour. The vehicle weighs 5,050 pounds, 85 mpges in the city. And like I was saying, you're looking at around 245 mile range. And if you're using a level 2 charger, that's gonna charge in about 8 hours. So we're gonna have to see a little bit more what is underneath here, whether there's storage. That's gonna come in a later review, but why don't we go ahead? We talked about what's powering this. We talked about the BMW performance. Let's get to the interior and see what the i4 M50 brings to the electrified table. All right guys, we're inside this 2022 BMW i4 M50. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I thought that I was gonna have to go with a Tesla Model 3, just like all my friends have that think they're so cool. But it's nice to see other brands come into the electrified world, especially when it comes to performance. So I'm really digging this i4 M50. The big question is, how much is it? MSRP, the way that this one is optioned, you're looking right around $66,000. Let's see what you get for the money. To the door panels, you're getting that traditional, familiar BMW style. So we have the Harman Kardon sound system, nice aluminum finish, no gloss black. And the two-tone is working, especially on the green, and especially because we're here at the auto show and sometimes lighting is really bad. Now the door pocket, decent size, maybe one Annie Ann's pretzel. I would go cinnamon and sugar and a nice bottle of milk to wash it down. Other than that, you're gonna get your familiar BMW style. You do have your handle, easy to get to, but then going from the door panel to the dash, soft touch, carbon fiber just spilled all over the center area of the dash. And what are you gonna get? You're gonna get over 13 inches of infotainment system. So when you're looking at that screen, you can see larger than the 12.3. You go to home, you could then swipe, find out what's going on in Denver, Colorado with the weather. We got the king. We got the king of German vehicles. We got the king we can listen to here at the Chicago Auto Show. And then of course you go into all the apps and you could find your climate controls. Love the way you just can kind of just follow through and really see what's going on with the vehicle. Different displays, you could go into charging, which is awesome. Right back here, I could show you the different modes. Here we are in Sport Boost, Sport, Sport Individual. You could actually change the sound if you want to have quiet or if you want to have more of an iconic sound. There's Comfort, because we think of, you know, a crater on the moon as comfort. That's the Sea of Tranquility right there. Or you could go Pro or EcoPo. Pro or Po, thank you. Now we got the BMW talking to us, and we don't want that. So we're gonna keep going, because there's a king. No U-turns right now, thank you. But we're gonna continue. Let me exit out of this real quick. So now we're gonna have your AC vents, traditional radio controls, carbon fiber spilled everywhere. And that's the thing with this BMW, you might have a backseat driver that's gonna annoy you just like that voice was annoying me. So get ready for that. Stitch work looking great, soft touch material. Open up the carbon fiber door, what do we have? Wireless charging, USB-C, and 2 cup holders. Close it up very nicely. That one finger operation. This is gonna control that direct drive transmission with our twin motors. You got your new iDrive, that iDrive 8, which is the new technology and software. We got our power on button, nice and blue because we're eco-friendly. More carbon fiber. Open this up, USB-C, and you got enough room for at least, I would say, 8 German chocolate bars in there. Close it up, the seats, the nice light tan, almost like a creamy tan interior, soft material, good bolstering. You're gonna get full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist, of course, for the driver, and then you got that nice oversized sunroof, which is great to let the vitamin D come in so that you don't look all pale like these seats. But why don't you come over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this i4 M50. All right, guys, here we are inside the i4 M50 business end. You got 2 memory seat settings. You got your aluminum M branded sill plate. What does M stand for? Motorsport. And BMW is here to show you you could have Motorsport and you could have an awesome pedal box. Nice large dead pedal, brake pedal, and throttle. We got our full suite of seat controls, easy to get to, nice silver finish on the buttons, and then the steering wheel. BMW does some of the best steering wheels in the business. Look at the thickness, the 10 and 2 notches, the Motorsport colors with the stitch work all the way around, heated steering wheel. It is a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. You do have head-up display, and you have a massive 12.3-inch digital display, and the BMW's actually green on the screen. It's the little touches like that, and if you notice, I rhymed because I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. But why don't we go ahead, get in the back seat, and see what it's gonna be like sitting in this i4 M50. All right, guys, backseat time, and what's wonderful is even though we have that battery pack and everything else, you're still gonna get a lot of great room back here. I'm 6 feet tall. I had plenty of room up front. I still have room in the back seat, which is nice. Would have been nice though, nicer if this was a panoramic sunroof. I think that would have been the magic touch. But backs of the seats, you are gonna get the plastic, and you do have those pesky cargo nets, which I know is popular on German Euro cars, but I am gonna zonk it. You do have your rear AC vents and rear seat controls for the AC, 2 USB-Cs. I did have to move the seat up. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like Johnny Appleseed. I can't tell a lie. I had to move the seat up or it would have been a little tight back here. So got the headroom, leg room. I'm gonna have to slip them a $20 bill. Whoever's sitting in this front seat, I'm gonna slip you a $20 bill. Give me a little bit extra leg room. Don't charge me more than 20 or I'm gonna tell you to go fly a kite. Or like my dad used to say, take a long walk off a short pier. Thanks, Dad. Pulling down the armrest, nice and soft. Open this up, you got your 2 cup holders for a couple cappuccinos. Maybe you're gonna get a frappa latte. Flip it back. Love the way they did the stitching. It's not like they went cheap on the rear seats, so that's good news. But why don't we go ahead? I think one of the biggest things that I could show you is that cargo space, because we have the Gran Coupe. Let's go check it out. All right, guys, one of the things that's so wonderful about this i4 M50 Gran Coupe, besides the 14.9-inch infotainment system, besides the adaptive dampers all 4 corners, is of course the usability. You hit the button, nice electric assist, and it's not a trunk, it's a lift back. And what that's gonna provide to you is tons of cargo space. So you don't have to go get an SUV. What's wonderful about a sedan, lower center of gravity is gonna give you better handling. And then of course the battery pack. Wait until you drive your first electric vehicle. Even though this vehicle does weigh heavier than your standard internal combustion engine counterpart. Because you got a lower center of gravity, it actually handles super well. Another thing I want to show you is you lift up the cargo floor, you are going to have a space here. Now, before you get excited and say, I could fit 5 boxes of Twinkies here, this is for the charging cord, and this is for your Harman Kardon system. So that's one thing to showcase. You have, remember, one electric motor out back, one up front. But let's go ahead. I know you're dying to go on throttle in this German EV. We're here at the Chicago Auto Show though, so we're gonna have to wrap this one up, and we're gonna do it in a way where it's gonna be all in unison, showing the lines of this i4 M50, really allowing you to get an idea that the vehicle could look as you expect from BMW, but yet have that electrification behind it. But let me know what you think about this vehicle. Has BMW done enough to go up against, of course, that top-selling Model 3, the Polestar, and the rest of the competition that is coming? Have they gotten a great jump start? Is it worth the price? Put it in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raiti's Rides family. Definitely gotta thank somebody here. Who's that? It's not me. It's the person holding that camera. Thank you, Lori, for busting your burnt butt and working so hard. Show her some love in the comment section. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.